Of all the auto brands on the road today, only one has been named the best auto brand for 6 straight years. That brand is Mazda. Come shop and save on the award-winning lineup of new Mazdas right now at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
As we start another edition of the Clarence Bug Show, here's hoping that all is well with you and yours. Since the last opportunity we had to spend a little time with you roughly 24 hours ago. Boy, what a difference a day makes, huh? The entire capital city region watching intently the aftermath of that horrific triple homicide on Memorial Day at a well-known apartment complex here in Baton Rouge. Police announcing yesterday that a total of 6 people are now believed to be tied to that horrific incident. The 2 alleged shooters, a juvenile and an adult, remain at large, according to police. The other 4 people involved either had prior knowledge that this shooting in fact was planned or assisted the killers after the shooting. 3 of those 4 people, and this is reading from the website of the CBS affiliate here in Baton Rouge, WAFB. 3 of those 4 people, including a juvenile, were taken into custody Tuesday. 23-year-old Christopher Stovall has been booked into the EBR Parish Jail as a principal to 3 counts of first-degree murder and illegal use of a weapon. LaToya Coleman, 36 years of age, is charged with 2 counts as an accessory after the fact to first-degree murder. Police said the killers left the state of Louisiana after the shootings, and the U.S. Marshals Service is currently assisting in the search for those individuals. What is yet another troubling aspect to this story, some media outlets have reported that these 3 individuals weren't even the target of the initial plan to carry out a shooting at that complex, meaning they simply ran into these individuals poolside, got into an argument with them, and ended up just shooting randomly, resulting in the death of an 18-month-old toddler as well as two males, Dwayne Dunn, 16 years of age, and Reginald Thomas, age 20, both of whom died at the scene. Mayor Sharon Weston Broome issuing the following statement on the latest developments. Quote, as of today, the Baton Rouge Police Department has made an arrest and issued additional warrants for the shooting that occurred last week at the Fairway View Apartments. This action was made possible by the work of our Baton Rouge Police Department and the support of our community. As we move forward, we must remember the tragic nature of gun violence in Baton Rouge and how it can be prevented. Just as the community helped in this case, we look to our residents to also help prevent future violence by reaching out to law enforcement before it occurs. This shooting resulted in the death of an innocent bystander who was only 1 year old. My sincerest condolences continue to be with the family and their loved ones. As a community, we must work collaboratively to prevent further tragedies by speaking out before it's too late. She concluded with the following. Again, I want to thank our residents who provided the valuable information which allowed our officers to make an arrest. My hope is that as we move forward, this partnership will continue to allow us to not only solve crimes, but to prevent them. I am, like many others, desperately hoping that this will serve as a wake-up call. It is, I guess, just a part of human nature that when babies, children are involved, it reaches us as the citizenry on a different and deeper level. And that's not to say that any life is worth more than any other, whether you're 18 months, 18 years, 48 years, 78 years, whatever. But most of us, when it involves the most vulnerable among us, our seniors and our children, typically it pushes us to step up to a level that prior to these incidents we may not have. And while you can make the argument that that is a statement about our society in general and what we've become, at the end of the day, if we, the community, don't value every single life, it's just a matter of time before that, quote, spillover is going to occur. There will be times where we're talking about young people, 21, 22, 23 years of age, but without the valuing of human life, before you know it, it used to be 20-year-olds, now it's 18-year-olds. The next thing you know, it's 16-year-olds. And of course, the next thing you know, it's an 18-month-old. This is a gradual process that has occurred over time. And we, through our inaction, we, through allowing others with an agenda to shape our thinking, we have allowed this to progress to this point. I found it interesting that following this news conference yesterday, the grandfather of the 18-month-old, JT, as she is or was very affectionately referred to by family members, the grandfather, in no uncertain terms, said he is calling out politicians and pastors. And he specifically said, you all have your salaries paid either through our taxes or our tithes. And if you don't step up and start answering the call, you're going to look up and we're going to be there en masse. We will be protesting outside the offices of politicians. We will be protesting en masse outside churches if pastors don't step up. Now, I will leave to you to decide why it is these groups have not stepped up, quote unquote. I will leave to you to decide at the end of the day whose ultimate responsibility it is. And yes, the grandfather's right. Their salaries are paid either by our taxes and or our tithes. But let us not forget something very important here. It is also our job as citizens. When all is said and done, I can't begin to imagine what it must be like on any other case for law enforcement attempting to improve the quality of life in our community by solving crime, and they get the same tired old response. Nobody saw anything, nobody knows anything, nobody. At some point, regular folks like you and I are going to have to step up and answer the call. Listen, y'all, you don't have to be Einstein to figure this thing out. Young people know if I simply do certain things, say certain things, the community is not going to help law enforcement catch me. Sadly, when you don't do that, you know what ends up happening? Somebody you know, somebody you love, somebody you're related to ends up being the next victim. We have allowed this to happen. And yeah, the politicians share blame. Yes, faith leaders share blame. But if we're being honest about this, you and I share some blame in this as well. At the end of the day, those individuals in our communities that are considering doing something illegal, unlawful, homicidal, if they think for one freaking second, if I do this, everybody in a 6-block radius is going to be on their cell phone, calling the popo, giving them my name and picking me out of a lineup. When that happens, you will see a real quick turnaround in the thinking of individuals. And listen, if you talk to law enforcement, particularly in Baton Rouge, and ironically, just yesterday, the police chief in New Orleans holding a press conference about the 9 people shot at a pool party recently in New Orleans, they both say the same thing. It's a small percentage of repeat offenders that are the problem. Now, if they're repeat offenders, we know who they are. If they are doing the same crimes over and over in the same communities, we know who they are. So the simple question then becomes, why aren't we telling law enforcement who they are? Now, that's a whole different show for a different day. Many of y'all watching the mainstream media fill your head with propaganda about defund the police, law enforcement is racist, all they want to do is kill black people. But in the meantime, the quality of life in the community where you live is dropped to the bottom. Y'all do realize, as hard as our parents and grandparents worked to raise us, get us off in life, do you realize how many of them now are living in abject fear behind locked doors in their own homes where they have lived for years? They deserve better than this, y'all. We, as a community, deserve better than this. And the only way we're going to get it is if we decide to step up collectively and make it happen. We allowed it to happen. As they say in political circles, we got to own it. Pure and simple. But you'd be amazed. It doesn't take that much. All it takes is simply doing the right thing. Some of y'all not going to get that till later. But that's okay, as long as some point you get it. First break of today's show. We'll get her done, come back and talk about the sportsman's paradise, about to be a little more expensive. That and some more Louisiana news next on the Clarence Bugg Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Team Honda wants to thank you for once again making us Louisiana's #1 new car dealer by offering you never-before-seen savings. For the first time ever, get 0% financing up to 60 months on some of your favorite Honda models. Get thousands in savings right now at Team Honda on Siegen Lane.
Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Balello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Back to today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. It is something that many of us embrace wholeheartedly. The sportsman's paradise moniker for the state of Louisiana. We grew up hunting, fishing, enjoying the great outdoors, blessed with nature's bounty that many other states would just absolutely go crazy to have. But of course now, when you are talking about a bounty of this magnitude, sadly, it has to be regulated because some of us just won't do right no matter what. It has to be subject to certain rules, regulations, and of course, anytime you have rules and regulations, you have to have an authority overseeing all of this. It was announced this week that a bill is now on the way to Governor John Bel Edwards to attempt to shore up the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries budget. The vote in the House that gave final passage to the bill cleared easily, 78 to 20. This bill will increase licensing fees over the next year on a wide array of both commercial and recreational categories. It is something that we sportsmen, the very first time this idea was implemented, a fishing license, we knew that this was going to open the door for certain things. I am proud enough to say that I am old enough now to remember the time where you want to go fishing, you just go fishing. You grab your poles, get some bait, throw it in the car, you go to your favorite spot, enjoy the day. Well, now, unless you are fishing on a private pond, you got to have a license. And as we speak, $9 and change is the cost for a recreational fishing license. Anytime you start dealing with licenses, particularly in a state like ours, the sportsman's paradise, you end up with all sorts of licenses. There's a hunting license, there's a recreational fishing license, there's a shrimping license, there's a crabbing license, and the list goes on and on and on. So the legislature, in an attempt to not only help stabilize the budget for the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, but also to streamline the process, passed this legislation that now heads on to Governor John Bel Edwards. $9.50 is the cost of a recreational fishing license as we speak. Ready for this? $17 will be the new cost. Now, before you panic, take this into consideration. That increase from $9.50 to $17 covers a wide range of things. For those of us that like recreational crabbing, of course I hadn't been in 30, 40 years, but that's a different show for a different day. Those of us that enjoy things like recreational crabbing, you've got to have one license for recreational fishing. You got to have another license if you want to go recreationally crabbing. This upgrade, for lack of a better phrase, to $17 would cover that along with crawfish traps and other types of fishing. It is also going to impact the commercial fishing industry as well. All told, it is expected that by the time all of these increases are phased in, which will be through 2024, you're talking about an additional $17 million for a budget year for the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. Now, let me say for the record, the job that Wildlife and Fisheries does is an extremely important one. If we hope to remain the sportsman's paradise, we have to be good stewards of what we have. At the end of the day, it's the old adage for any civilized society, somebody's got to be in charge. And of course, the other that comes to mind is when you fail to govern yourself, you consent to be governed. So when all is said and done, if all goes according to plan, the general fund will no longer be responsible for funding the operations of the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. It will be funded primarily by those of us who hunt and fish. I will leave to you to decide if that is the best, most efficient way to do it. I will simply inform you that this is how it is going to be done in the near future. Speaking of how things are going to be done in the near future, one thing you won't have to worry about is using your cell phone when you drive. The legislature deciding, well, we don't think we want to put this into law just yet. As you know, probably every legislative session for the last, 5 years, there's been a bill proposed banning the use of handheld cell phones while driving. And of course, you know the arguments. On one side, there are those that say, well, it's unfair to people that, don't have a lot of money to make them have to go out and buy Bluetooth and this, that, and the other. And the other side to that argument is, look at the carnage on our highways. How many times do you find yourself, even my new dear friend Amy here at Bayou Smokehouse, she probably cursing some people out there too on the highway because they're on the phone, not paying attention behind the wheel. I'm just kidding. Amy wouldn't do that. But at the end of the day, it's a safety issue because, again, if you don't govern yourself, you open the door for somebody to come along and govern you. And we see it every day, all day, at every intersection. At some point, somebody's blowing the horn because the light has changed and you see somebody looking down, not paying attention. The legislature decides, nah, not this year. We're not ready to do that just yet. I'm going to go out on a limb here. It's due in large part, and this is the same for driving under the influence. This is the exact same. The right person's loved one hasn't been killed yet. When the right, influential, popular, powerful individual's loved one gets killed either by the drunk driver or someone totally not paying attention because they're on their freaking phone, then these things will change. Now listen, y'all know me. After 40 years, you know I am the biggest proponent of government staying out of my life. Allow me to govern myself. But the fact of the matter is, just look around. How many of us govern ourselves responsibly when behind the wheel as it relates to cell phone usage? Heck, y'all can't turn your freaking signal lights on. You can't turn your signal lights on. You can't follow at the correct distance. You can't obey the speed limit. I'm supposed to expect you to stay off your cell phone when you are guiding a 2,000-pound chunk of metal at 60, 70, 80 miles an hour? I don't think so. But the legislature, in its infinite wisdom, decided once again that Louisiana folks deserve the freedom to be able to have their lives in one hand, cell phone on the other, while they go about their daily routine. Now listen, again, I'm a small government guy. Government, stay the hell out of my way. Stay out of my life. Stay out of my bedroom. But here's the problem. When you are exercising your rights behind the wheel and on the phone, it's my loved one that you're going to kill. When you are on that cell phone, not paying attention, checking Facebook, whatever, it's my neighbor's loved one that you're going to kill. Why? Because you refuse to govern yourself. And at the end of the day, maybe the argument wasn't strong enough, But many legislators voting against this were of the opinion, well, you can't make poor people have to go out and buy, a Bluetooth headset. They can't afford it, and this and that and the other, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. Or as Marty would say, blah, 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 blah. I don't think there's a cell phone made these days that doesn't have a speakerphone option. Pull over, dial the number, put it on speakerphone, set it on the seat beside you, and then go about your business doing what you need to do. At least you don't find yourself encumbered because you got one hand stuck in your ear and one hand on the wheel. Of course, that might explain why a lot of y'all don't use that magic button, that lever that sticks out that you hang the garbage bag on. You know, the one that if you flip it up, magically, lights will flash on the right side of your car. And if you flip it down, it's magic. A light will flash on the left side of your car, letting people know what your intentions are. Those are optional. There you go. Thank you, Marty. Thank you, Marty. At the end of the day, y'all, getting in your freaking car to go to the store, getting in your car to go pick up Lil Susie from piano practice, getting in your car to go see your bud shouldn't cost you your life because some idiot is too busy on their phone to pay attention to what's happening on the road. Just saying. Let me get this bottom of the hour break out of the way. We're going to play a game when we come back. Name of this game is, what if his last name was Trump? Oh, you're going to like this one. That's up next when we continue the Clarence Bugg Show only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bugg Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
today's edition of the Clarence Spud Show. I mentioned heading into the last commercial break, that for this segment, we're going to play a game entitled, What If His Last Name Was Trump? Let me preface this by saying, you can engage in this exercise of trying to figure out what it would be like if this person's last name were Trump. Or you can come to the realization before we start this exercise that we conservatives already know what the answer would be. If you have to engage in this exercise, the mainstream media has been 100% successful in their mission. You will remember, well, let me retract that. Those of y'all that worship at the altar of the mainstream media never got the story to begin with, because the mainstream media colluded to suppress the story of Hunter Biden's laptop during the presidential campaign. Like they typically do, they labeled individuals with ugly names. They talked about conspiracy theories. They poo-pooed and dismissed the idea that there was anything there. And of course, it just kind of quietly went by the wayside. One of the things you will find, if you ever take the time to look, sadly, and this should tell you everything you need to know about the mainstream media in this country. When you start looking around, you find honest news organizations in other countries will give you news you won't get in your own country from the mainstream media. For example, Daily Mail across the pond issuing an explosive story yesterday about other things that are allegedly contained on this abandoned laptop for Hunter Biden. There are text messages between Hunter Biden and his corporate attorney, George Messrs, M-E-S-I-R-E-S. I hope I'm not butchering the name too bad. George Messrs is Hunter Biden's corporate attorney, and just so happens he's white. There are text messages that the Daily Mail revealed yesterday that are chocked full of the N-word, N-I-G-G-A, the, quote, term of endearment. For example, quote, I only love you because you're black. True that, N-word, ending in an A. In another text message a month earlier, Hunter Biden texts to his white corporate attorney, quote, how much money do I owe you? N-word with an A. You better not be charging me the Hennessy rates. Then, according to the Daily Mail, on the laptop is a meme depicting former President Barack Obama hugging former Vice President Joe Biden. The caption on this meme is the following: Obama, I'm gonna miss you, man. Joe Biden, can I say it just this once? Obama, go ahead. Biden, you my N-word. Obama. Now let's play the game. If Hunter Biden's last name were Trump, what do you think would happen? If Hunter Biden's last name were Trump, and this was found on a laptop attributed to Hunter Trump, you already know what would happen, right? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, from now until you would hear racist, 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 ad nauseum. And yet, you know your boy Clarence, first thing I did when I saw the story, I said, okay, I'm going to be fair about this. Let's see what the mainstream media is saying about this story. So immediately, I get online and I check the websites for ABC News, CBS News, NBC News, CNN, MSLSD, USA Today, the whole gamut, looking to see, who's going to tell folks in America about this? Not a peep. But you know what I did find out? NBC News, leave it to the mainstream media and NBC News. NBC News has a section on their website entitled America's Racial Reckoning, the latest news on the protests, boycotts, and the fight against systemic racism that is reverberating around the country. What was it? A week ago, President Joe Biden loudly proclaimed white supremacy is the single greatest threat to this country. And now, according to the Daily Mail, we find out his son is throwing around the N-word like it's free lunch. I guess you could conceivably make the argument, well, maybe that's how he knows that white supremacy is the greatest threat to this country, because look at his son. Just saying. Just saying. Here it is, less than a week after making that statement. Oh, and by the way, tweeting about the Tulsa massacre and forgetting to even mention the D-Day invasion. And these are the same people that would have you think that the mainstream media, the Democrats / progressives / liberals, are so concerned about the state of race relations in America, and we're so concerned about the plight of the black man. And here is the son of the leader of the free world throwing around the N-word like it's 40 going north. By the way, had a gentleman tell me this morning that saw the story, said, you know, in one of these texts, the attorney and Joe Biden's son talking with one another, Hunter Biden said, How much do I owe you? I want to be sure you're not charging me the Hennessy rate. The attorney, by the way, his billing price, $875 an hour. My buddy told me, said, that's a whole lot of Hennessy, bro. That's a whole lot of Hennessy. $875 an hour. Just imagine if his last name were Trump. BLM in the streets like 40 going north. And every other anti-racism group in America would have been marching in the streets. But the mainstream media thinks apparently one of two things. Either one, you don't deserve to know, or two, you're too stupid to understand he actually said NIGGA did Hunter Biden, and that's a term of endearment. It's one thing for y'all, the media, to be that freaking stupid. It's something else entirely for you to think I am too. Just saying. Just saying. Final break of today's show. We'll come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and we'll wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
We're making 2021 the year of savings, and it starts right now at Team Toyota. Come get a new 21 Corolla for just $189 a month, or get a 20 Camry for just $19,995. It's a year full of savings starting right now, right here at Team Toyota.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. You know, it occurred to me during the last commercial break. There is a considerable segment of our citizenry in this country that grew up with, has only been exposed to, and can only appreciate mainstream media. So you may find yourself asking when you hear or talk with conservatives like myself, how am I supposed to know where to get unbiased news from? There is a simple way to figure this out, particularly online. One of the bellwethers for me, when I go to a website looking for information on whatever story, if there's no comment section at the end for those who read the story and are allowed to give their opinion, input on the merits, the truthfulness of the story, then I keep going. I don't waste my time with an organization that is apparently of the opinion they know better than anybody else and their opinion is the only one that matters. You know what that's a sign of? An agenda. If you have enough faith in the authenticity of your story, if you have enough faith in the facts and the truthfulness as you have presented it, you have no problem allowing people to read the story, form an opinion, and express it. Anything less than that says to me, they're pushing an agenda. They only want you to know certain things, and they only want you to think a certain way. Now, I don't know about you, but it is America. You got a right to be a moron. It's written in the Constitution in the fine print. But personally, as an American, I'm of the opinion I deserve better than that. And I will not waste my time, energy, or effort reading from a site that won't allow me to comment. Just saying. Just saying. By the way, I want to give you guys and girls a heads up. There is a new scam going around, and I'm going to have to get the good folks from the BBB, Carmen Million, on maybe tomorrow. Scammers have kicked this thing up a notch now. They are using a new United States federal program to try and separate you from your hard-earned money. You may have heard that the federal government has a program to help people pay funeral expenses for their loved ones who died from COVID. You've probably heard about that. Well, according to our friends at the Better Business Bureau, the scam works as such. You get a call or a text message saying, "Hi, we're from the federal government, and we understand you had somebody die from COVID. You know, we got this new program to help you pay for the funeral expenses." Now, exactly. Marty said, "Oh, okay, pay for this." It's a natural reaction, y'all. And don't feel bad if you've gotten one of these calls already. Don't feel bad if you succumbed to that natural reaction. Well, wait, they're going to help me pay. Oh, Lord, am I glad to talk to you because, man, this funeral really put me in a hole. Y'all, listen. You know what comes next, right? Okay, well, we're looking forward to help you, but we need some personal information for the deceased, like address, like social security number, like all sorts of personal information. And once they get it, I think you know the rest after that, right? You look up, wait a minute, I didn't open this account. Wait a minute, I didn't apply for this loan. This person's dead. They certainly didn't do it. And now you got a whole nother nightmare on your hands. Listen, when they start calling asking you for personal information about the deceased, red flags should immediately go off. And as Marty said, muscle memory, real simple, hang that puppy up. And please, again, I understand how you might feel if you've been victimized already by these folks. After the anger, the betrayal, the embarrassment subsides, get right back on that phone, call law enforcement, pass the information along to them, and please call my friend Carmen Million over at the Better Business Bureau and report it to them. That way, if nothing else, you will have the satisfaction of knowing that you did your part to help some fellow Louisianian not to become a victim. Just imagine if we all did this, might be able to run these scammers out of town. And listen, I get it, y'all. I get it just like you. I'm just like you. You find yourself saying, you know, if these idiots, if these clowns, if this scum would spend half the amount of time they spend trying to figure out ways to steal money and use that time to get a real job, we'd all be better off. But at the end of the day, the world is not ideal. So all we can do is pass this information along to you, and hopefully you will govern yourselves accordingly. We are today, as we were yesterday, and as we will be tomorrow, broadcasting live today from Bayou Smokehouse, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, the home of old school barbecue. And if you come in today for lunch, you may well miss yours truly, but you get to see, watch, interact with the real brain trust of Baton Rouge. My dear friend Bill Profita will be here. He is conducting the podcast with the Kingmaker, Uncle Roy. Uncle Roy's already in the house, sitting over there looking all cool at the bar and everything, waiting on Clarence to get the hell on out of the way so he can do his thing. But those will be the gentlemen sitting right here if you come in and get that absolutely wonderful lunch today from Bayou Smokehouse. It is, when they say the home of old school barbecue, that's exactly what it is. You know, if you think back to when you were a kid and Dad would light up that grill, if he was doing his thing, Mom always got busy in the kitchen, and she put that extra love into the homemade sides to go with it. That's what you get here at Bayou Smokehouse. Try the mac and cheese, y'all. It's killer. Ooh, my God, and the bourbon baked beans. Try to contain yourself after that first bite, all right? Just saying, just saying. My time's up, y'all, and I gotta make way. But this day, maybe more so than any other, I give it to you. You're right. America, in no way, shape, or form are we perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Then again, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. We'll see you tomorrow. God bless.